Hey guys, so today we are going to talk about market prepping. My market is coming up just real soon, I think a week. I don't even know what day it is anymore, but I wanted to show you some of my processes, organizing, and what I do. So first off, I wanted to get into tagging, because so I tag pretty much everything gets its own specific little tag, so there's no confusion. I tried putting it on a stand, and everything on this stand is this much, and I still get how much is this. And even everything is individually tagged, I still get how much is this. So, and last year I was lazy about tagging, and so this year there were a bunch of things not tagged, and I want to be better about it this year, so that's what we're gonna do. I have my little box, and I have all the different ways to tag it. So I just use, I have blank ones here, so I just get little things where the safety pin, I safety pin everything, because then I can take it off and I have an excuse. Oh, let me take that off. I reuse it, and they're like, oh, that's nice. And then, so I have my trusty label maker by Foam Memo, and it makes the little tags, so you can't even see them. Here, let me get one of my blue ones. I was trying to do like a different color for markets and Comicons, and then it all just got messed up. So everything's all mixed up together. So I have in each little compartment, I've separated it so it's easier to find. Now at my market, I have in my tackle box that stays underneath my table. As I sell something, it just goes in there, and then if I put something new out, I can easily just pull it, and I don't have to pull this out. This can stay in my trailer all tucked in. But I have 10s and 20 and 25. Oh, that was 25. What was this one? Oh, 15. I was putting 25s when I was organizing it earlier. Putting 25s in the 15s, and then 30, and then I have 40, 50. Oh, I have 45 too, because I sell my big loveys for 45. I sell a couple of other things, and then there is 60 and 80, and then I have 100, and then 150. And I don't make as many as these because I don't sell them. So we're gonna get into some tagging. And I do have a few whips that I gotta make, and pictures and stuff for on my social media that I gotta get done. So let's do that. Hey guys, so this is the trailer. Right now, what I need to do is kind of organize things, and excuse my voice, the allergies have gotten me real good. There's nothing I can do about that. It's that time of year that kind of end of February down here in the South to kind of into May, the allergies are just so, you walk outside and one day it's 34, and then the next day you wake up 7 o'clock in the morning and it's 85. So, and then on those days there's pollen all over your car. If you live in the South, leave in the comments. You know what I'm talking, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have all my stuff in the buckets, and so what I need to do is this bucket right here. I know. Okay. It has all of my bags and my tablecloths, and usually my cash box goes in here and stuff like that. Right now, it's a disorganized mess, and I don't have room for the cash box, and all the bags are discombobulated. So, we're going to kind of go through that. And then, I have a little bit more tagging to do. I did finish a few projects, which I'll show you in a little bit. Depending on how long this takes me. Yeah. I'll kind of show you this. This is a big thing in that people don't normally have like big setups like this. However, loading it all up into my husband's truck every weekend and it was a lot, and then having to come home after the event and unload it for him to go to work the next day was something that it was just easier to make the investment to get something like this. That way my stuff also is, because I also do Comicon, so I have to like, most of this stuff is Market, and then this whole side right here is Comicon. And so I separate them. So I needed space to store all of that. Like that. Because otherwise, before we got this, there was no, I was taking up like the whole dining room of the house to store my stuff. And I know the answer probably could have been, don't use such bulky boxes. However, these boxes work best for me, even though they're heavy and bulky. I like the way I can put them on my little cart and roll them around. And so, to each their own. Some people use the little IKEA bags, and I do use those. So like, I'll take all this stuff out, and when I'm doing a multi-day event, so usually you get to come in, so like Comicon, I can go in the day before, and it'll be like on a Friday this year it'll be on a Thursday, and put all my stuff up, like set everything up, and then the next day when I want to bring back, I don't have to bring this big thing with me, so I fill my car up with the IKEA bags. Another benefit to having a trailer like this is, if you've done markets before, when you're done with the market, you kind of just toss everything in. When we were loading it all back to my husband's truck, it had to be put back in a specific way so that it would fit like Tetris wise back in that truck. So it just wasn't working. And this way, I mean, you literally toss things in buckets and toss all your tables. You can see it. Can you see my tables back here, and my shelving, and my weights and stuff like that? This is my new, I know it's a little dark, hang on, let me see if I can move you guys just a little bit. Yeah, okay. So my tables, and this metal rack right here is going to be my new shelving system. I'll post a picture. And then these are the shelves that go hooked to it. My husband is a woodworker, so he built the little things that these slide onto, and I'm grateful for that. And my tackle box, I can wheel it around real easy. Let me think. Yeah, these, if you can see these right here, those are PVC pipes filled with sand. Is my microwave the microwave? Yeah, the microwave, yeah. The microphone might have been too far. I don't know what I'm doing. So that's what I got. So let's get to work. So I use these actually. Oh, these are my big ones. So I make, if you've seen any of my other videos, I make big plushies, like big Pokemon and the big mushroom guy. And so I wanted big bags. So those are my giant bags for those things, because I hated not having bags for those, and people just walk away. Yeah, see, things just get shoved in. And then I got my tablecloths like this, and this is how I used to have kind of my stuff. And now I put it in the tackle box. So that needs to go that way. And then I need to find, there's only one thing of tablecloths in here. That's lovely. There are some things in one of these buckets that need to move down there, because these are both like fillers. If you crochet and do markets, so you make something and it's like, I don't really like how that turned out, but then you don't want to, you save it because it's not your favorite, but it's good enough to sell. Or there's been a couple of times I've done like challenges, like the All From Jade advent calendar. That was really fun, but like there's a couple of things on there that's like, I'm not gonna make that again. So that goes into this space for on the off chance that I sell out of, I don't want to say the good stuff, because that doesn't sound very nice. The popular stuff. That way my booth never looks empty. That's a real big thing for me. So as a slow crocheter, I have to be always like crocheting. So getting this close to my market, I am freaking out, because like I have to do all this stuff, but I have crocheting to do. I have stuff to make. So like I'm working on this stuff all year long like after my last market was in November, the beginning of November. It's the second beach haven of the year. And after that, so I used to make Christmas presents for all my nieces and nephews, and they've kind of outgrown that, which I suspected they would at some point. I mean, they're teenagers now, so it's fine. But it does give me an opportunity. I make a list of, okay, these are the markets I want to get into, so this is the stuff I have to make for those markets, right? So, I'm sorry if this is messing up the microphone. I don't want that to happen. I always have some of these in my thing, and I'll bring that over here in a second. But they come like this, and I like to try and keep it like this and not like this, because this is a disaster. So what these will be used for is, so I either use these or little dog poop bags as trash bags, because I don't like to we don't leave trash behind. Leave it just like you got it. So now this bucket is empty, and it shouldn't be. So my cash box needs to go in here, and I need to find my other thing of tablecloths, because if I remember correctly, I used to have them all labeled, so I knew. These are the smaller ones, and I need the bigger ones too for Beach Haven. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these back in there, because those do need to go in there, and that holds their little space. So let me dig. That's what's going to have to happen next. I'm going to have to dig. So yeah, and then I'll show you all the things. I showed you my top, kind of the important, I have a top layer of my tackle box, and then I have drawers. So then I'll bring that over here and I'll show that to you. Okay, so I was looking for my tablecloths, and I came across this bucket. And I wanted to hop on and show you the stuff in it real quick because I don't really use this stuff anymore. However, if you're a beginner and like trying to do things as cost effective as possible, I keep these buckets because you never know what's gonna happen. So what you're kind of gonna need. So I keep them as backups. But I have things like this. This is a little bucket from the kitchen section at Walmart. It's used, you see people put the little viral, all their snacks for their kids. Real organized, real neat. Just a couple of bucks. And then there, I found this. I think I got this at Hobby Lobby. I don't remember. But I used to put my bees in it. And it was really cute. And then you just find little things like this. They don't have to be real expensive. Just something to put levels up on your thing so everything's just not flat. But I'm gonna continue to dig through these buckets because I do have to find my tablecloths. But I'm sorry, my face is getting flushed. It's hot out here. I'm hot now. But I wanted to hop on and show this to you real quick. Okay, one last thing inside my trailer. Before later, get some water because it does get hot out here. And then we'll show you what. There we go. The other things I made, and then we'll tag those things, and then bring them out here, and they'll be put away. So my tackle box, I showed you my little first aid kit one. The great thing about this system, if your husband is a woodworker or mechanic, you've seen these. Everything, the thing is, everything locks into place. So even this top piece comes off and everything just locks together, which I really like. I know it's extra, but that's okay. I like to be very prepared. So just to kind of recap all the things I keep up here. My squares are in here. Wipes. Here's the little doggy bags I was telling you about earlier. You gotta have scissors. Hydrate as much as you can. I always have pens, you never know. And this is, last year I had somebody pay with $100, and so we were like, let's invest in one of those pens. So this checks the pen. I've never really had to use it, but I have it in case I do. These are the chargers for the Switch, or not the Switch. Oh my god. The square. And then you never know when you'll need tape, hand sanitizer. Always, I have lots of hand sanitizer because markets are gross. Sticky notes, you never know. Charger. And then, so I'm sure that I've shown you guys the top piece. If you watch that video, I'll link it. And then when you come down here, let me adjust and move out of the way. The top drawer has all the bags and some extra business cards. I like my business cards, they're so cute. But this is where I keep the bags. And then this drawer is, I have a little sign. I keep that in there. You never know when you'll need the big one or the little one. String, rope, more of the doggy bags, more of my business cards. There's the extra box. And then this bottom one is where I keep my binder that's got my business license, and so I have the 3D printed stuff that I do. I have a license. I joined their Patreon, so I have a license to sell certain things. So those are in there. Also, my insurance is in there. I have all of that. And it travels with me to each and every market. I don't like put it out, but if something were to happen, I have it with me. And then this locks up. I can put a little lock here. I almost never, and it's on wheels. So I could push it underneath my table and then pull it out as I need it. So yeah, that's all my stuff. And then we got, sorry about that, and then we got some tagging to do, and I'm ready to go for the market. Okay, so back inside, I got some water, cooled off a little bit, and so now I want to show you those things that I did get done, and then I can tag them and put them away, and then we'll be all ready for my market. So I did, if you remember, I was working on some jellyfish, and I wanted to make more of them because they turned out so cute. So I ended up making 4 of them. And so I really like how they turn out, and I priced them at $15. So and then I did make an Alice. This one is technically gonna go to GalaxyCon, so she won't make it to my upcoming market, but I finished her and I just wanted to show her off. This also, I'm gonna have to make another one for the market, but I made this is All From Jade's Weighted Buddies. And when I started making it, I was like, you know what? I have the perfect colors to make a spiral. So I think he's gonna go to GalaxyCon, and I'll make another one. I might take him. I don't know if enough people will know spiral, but maybe. I showed it to my husband, and he was like, "Oh, Puff the Magic Dragon." I'm like, why? Why do you have to do things like that to me? Like, you know who this is. You know. Anyways, that is all I have for today. Like I said, I'm going to tag these and get them all ready to go. Pack those last few things up, and we are ready to go to our market. Thank you so much for hanging out with me through this long, chaotic process. And we'll see you next time.